Da 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fire Emblem 3 Hopes video. We're picking up right where we left off. I've been having to stop myself from playing this game off recording. It's just how excited I am about these games and how much fun I've been having with them. I'm sure, as you all know by now, Fire Emblem is by far my favorite game franchise. There's just something about it that I really enjoy. But yeah, we're gonna get into the story. Previously, we saved Monica, which I was excited to see, because in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Monica, I guess, was like killed in 3 Houses, and Kronia, the person we fought in the last chapter as well, she was actually Monica. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully, it'd be awesome if we can use Monica in this playthrough, or in this game. That would be amazing. But I doubt it for some reason.
Thank you, everyone.
I mean, they gave her, you know, magic and everything, so there's a chance.
Monica, I heard you went missing in House Ox territory. I did indeed. In fact, I was on the verge of graduation when I was kidnapped by the strangest people. Oh, how silly of me not to introduce myself. I'm Monica von Ox.
So she gets kidnapped in her own territory. How
I'm the eldest
How
child of
ironic.
Baron Ox, and one of your highness's most loyal subjects.
Now, I'm curious to see, because there's 3 different routes you can take in this game by the looks of it, just because you can choose all 3 different houses again. So I'm wondering if the first chapter of the other 2 also have you saving Monica, or if you're doing something else. So that'll be interesting to see when the time comes for me to play it through it a second time.
You've not changed at all, though I do appreciate the enthusiasm.
Monica was a Black Eagle in last year's class. One might say she's part of the old guard.
I'm not sure how I feel about you calling people old.
That's pretty funny. I think Hubert's like one of the oldest in this class too.
I think I understand. This all began when the knights lost sight of the bandits and you gave chase. Afterward, you entered a suspicious fortress and rescued a missing student.
Yeah, Alois isn't buying it. He's like, there's something fishy going on here.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, just kidding. He doesn't suspect a thing. He doesn't suspect a thing.
Sounds good. But, why are you even here, Alois?
Oh, maybe he's in on the plan.
For help after you left them behind. Did you expect anything different?
Okay, all right, fair enough. We kind of did run off without them.
I know you were following Professor Yuritsa's lead. So
Yes, blame him. He's the one in charge.
Home knowing they did just swell. For as you know, all swell that ends swell.
I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one, Alois. Yeah, Yuritsa, you read my mind.
Still, I find this a rather grave turn of events. To think the same bandits who attacked our charges were behind another student's abduction.
I never said I was kidnapped by bandits.
Okay, hold up, what? She wasn't kidnapped by bandits, yet we found her in a bandit hideout. Explain yourself, Monica.
You didn't?
Now that I think on it, not everyone in that fortress was dressed like a common rogue. Perhaps the bandits were mere decoys while some other villain pulled strings behind the scenes.
Like the Flame Emperor. We're gonna agree wholeheartedly.
One real piece of work. Kronia, I think, who managed to
Maybe we should have agreed half-heartedly. Yeah, we shouldn't have gone all in there. We should have been like, I don't know about that. Be a little skeptical. That's the character we're playing.
Not your everyday bandit.
You're on the right path. Perhaps I should just tell you who kidnapped me, seeing as I already know.
Oh?
What? Why didn't you mention this earlier?
Well, nobody asked her.
I was busy speculating, so it was difficult to cut in.
Yeah, there it is.
What do you know, child? Out with it.
Her Highness can vouch for this, but my memory is quite strong.
Try
Go on.
remarkable. You never forget a face, even one seen only at a glance.
Your
Go
Highness,
on.
Thank you for the compliment. I'm certain of what I saw. The one who kidnapped me was surely Tomas, the librarian.
Okay, yeah, no, that adds up. That adds up.
Tomas? Impossible.
But Tomas has been at Garreg Mach even longer than I have. I don't want to believe it, but based on what you say, we've no choice but to investigate.
But Sir Alois...
Be on guard. If Tomas is in league with Kronya, he is dangerous.
Very
Yeah, ain't
well.
that right?
I will
Ain't that
probably
right?
take the matter to Lady Rhea and leave the decision in her hands. Not a word of this to anyone. Is that clear?
Oh, now we're keeping secrets. Now we're keeping secrets. I like it.
Things are getting interesting. Honestly, did not see this coming. So what do you make of this Kronya? Why do you think she was at the fortress?
You seemed preoccupied with her during the battle. She a friend of yours?
Sadly, I wouldn't know. My memory is...
Oh,
but a
of course,
shadow at this point.
the typical I can't remember line. It's like, I recognize the face, but I don't have the memory to go with it.
Lost. I remember meeting you.
They did this with Three Houses as well with Sothis. So I'm kind of curious to see how it plays out with Arvel here.
The moment I saw her, I was struck with the most inexplicable feeling. I couldn't tell you if it was revulsion or affection. It was simply pure emotion.
And here I thought I had it tough.
You know, one thing I do hope for with this game is the opportunity to use some of the bad guys. You know, because again, I really like Kronya's character, and I thought it was really underutilized in Three Houses. So I'm glad it seems like she's going to be playing a bigger role in this game. But in previous Fire Emblem games, well, the one that comes to mind is Sacred Stones. But once you beat the game, you could actually use some of the bad guys. So I'm hoping there's something like that in this game, where we can use some of the enemies that are just super intriguing that you didn't get to use in Three Houses.
And so, the Archbishop has elected to apprehend Tomas.
Oh, well, that was quick.
He's been away from Garreg Mach for days now. During his absence, an investigation of his behavior and personal effects laid bare his hostility to the church.
The knights have been instructed to await his return and take him in. As quietly as possible, of course.
We want him alive, so we might discover the whereabouts of his associates.
I'm glad they actually believed me.
If they doubted you, you would have known it the moment they clapped you in irons and led you away.
So who is this Tomas guy anyway? You say he works in the library?
He does. I've lost track of how many times I've spoken to the man.
Oh, he must be
No
heartbroken.
surprise, Lynn. You practically live at the library. So what did he look like again? Is he the big burly one?
Burly? Not even close. He's a frail old man with a walking stick.
All right, next one is going to be, then what do we have to worry about? That I guarantee that's going to be the next line.
From what I understand, he's been
Dang it. All right, well, look, I tried to guess it. I was wrong. No one jumped in.
It is hard to imagine that he had been plotting evil that whole time. I wonder what led to his transformation.
Transformation? Would someone not be noticing if Tomas changed his appearance?
Oh, Petra. We're going to go ahead and correct her understanding. Petra. I love her. She's adorable.
I am excited to have learning of this strange new expression. I must be thanking you.
If they were really worried about transformations, you'd expect they would turn their gaze to you. Good to know they're nice enough not to do so.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So this Tomas person sent the bandits after us? What an awful man. We're lucky to be alive.
You weren't even out on the battlefield, Bernadetta. What are you complaining about? Ah, there you go. Casper and I, we're on the same page.
Yes. You were not having reason to fear for
Petra,
me,
too.
Lynn.
She looks a little upset. She's like, you don't get to talk. You weren't there.
You're right. Everyone, pipe down. Something's happening outside.
Are they ready at the gates?
Yes, sir. Every exit is covered.
Well, it sounds like Tomas has returned. I don't know why I know this, but you need to get out there, and quickly.
We're just gonna dash off without saying anything. We're gonna look super suspicious. I still gotta say, I love the
There he
cutscenes.
is.
That man down there.
Lady Rhea wants to speak with you. I suggest you accept.
This doddering persona of mine will benefit me no further.
Immediate transformation. Okay.
What is this?
There he is. Thalos, I believe his name was, or Thales. I forget how it's pronounced.
Right?
He pulled an us.
Such hubris from mere vermin. You will pay for this.
And he's gone.
Find him!
Right. What he did was just like...
Uh-oh. Are we the bad guy? Are we the bad guy? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drop our save and move on to the next chapter.
Shadows of Adrestia. Upon his return to Garreg Mach, the humble Tomas shapeshifts and flees, and not even the Knights of Ceres's most concerted efforts can track down the erstwhile librarian.
Very,
Meanwhile,
very interesting.
Edelgard seizes upon Monica's rescue as a chance to start down a radically different path.
See, so this is what's crazy about this is we didn't meet these characters until like halfway through Three Houses.
Like clockwork with Monica.
And here we are at the beginning of Three Hopes, just changing the future already.
So ably. And equally to those arrogant fools for letting their guards down.
Okay. Alright, I like this
I
duo.
doubt we will see such fortune next time.
Next time? Oh, don't tell me.
The moment has come to take matters into our own hands at the Imperial capital. This is our chance to finally be rid of them.
But, Lady Edelgard, we aren't ready. We'll need an entire host to keep them in check.
And we have one. The Church.
Forgive my impertinence, but that is not the plan.
You are the man who once told me to leave no sword in its scabbard.
Yes, but one must also take care not to wound themselves when unsheathing it. I am sorry, milady, but this plan is ill-advised. I cannot support it. And even if I were to ignore common sense and go along, it still throws our future plans into disarray.
I thought you devised countermeasures to deal with the Church. Use them.
But those were meant for... Very well. Are you absolutely certain this is the path?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's go down this path again.
I am anything but certain. Yet the bandit attack in the mountains created an opportunity we cannot ignore. And I doubt the appearance of this new mercenary is simple coincidence.
Yeah, pure coincidence. Just don't worry about us.
Plans can be rewritten, Hubert. Either we're doing this, or we're not. Will you sit around and wait for a miracle? Or will you help me seize control of my fate?
I am with you, Lady Edelgard. As ever. Then let us walk forward on this path and see where it takes us.
Things are progressing much faster in this game.
Not at all, Edelgard. But might I ask, what prompted this sudden desire to return to Inbar?
We believe one of Tomas's collaborators may have infiltrated the capital.
My word!
Tomas tended the library at Garreg Mach for decades, with nary a blemish on his record. And then, without warning, he drops his disguise and reveals himself to be a vile sorcerer of terrible ability. Someone at the capital also fits that pattern. A man we know all too well.
And who might that be?
My uncle, and regent of the Empire, Bokhard von Arundel.
Interesting.
His lordship briefly defected from the Empire before reappearing several years later. But he returned a changed man, and began seizing power almost immediately.
So that's where they're going. Okay.
Witnesses claim he wields dark magic in secret, and is able to change his appearance at will.
That does sound suspicious, if these witnesses can be believed.
I would ask that you do believe them, as the information comes from my own House Vestra.
I see. And when you return to the capital, how do you propose to deal with this uncle of yours?
Lord Arundel has the support of a number of influential nobles, including the Prime Minister, Duke Ire. And while we have allies of our own, it's likely they'll require some convincing. To that end, we wish to bring our friends here at the Academy, their daughters and sons, with us under the supervision of Professor Eureka.
Very slick. It's like, hey, you won't oppose us when we're basically holding your kids captive.
We hoped you would consider deploying the Knights of Ceres.
Very, very
so
interesting.
The Imperial Army doesn't get any strange ideas.
You wish to march on the Empire, with the Church's knights at your back?
Your support would give credence to our claims.
Additionally, the Knights would keep the populace in check upon our arrival, thereby preventing the city from descending into utter chaos.
So Edelgard's trying to seize control by using the church.
The more credible the threat sounds.
It's clear you have thought carefully and planned well.
We intend to seize the palace with our own forces, and we'll do our utmost to contain the conflict there. But we still need your help. Please.
I have two conditions. The first, when you capture Lord Arundel, he is to be turned over to the Knights at once.
I'm gonna put my money on that they kill him.
The second, our Knights are not to engage in battle directly.
I would have it no other way.
Step lightly, Edelgard. Should these claims about Lord Arundel prove false, we will take action accordingly. Make no mistake as to who will be held accountable.
Understood. But please know we have nothing to gain from deceiving the Church.
Except unrest in the country.
Very well. I will summon the Knights and
turning the entire empire against the church, thus plotting a revolution.
May the goddess watch over you all.
Well, that was certainly an unexpected conclusion to the whole Tomas saga. Thanks to his shape-shifting ability, he slipped free of the Knights and escaped.
Shape-shifting.
Don't tell me we're gonna be able to shapeshift.
Yes, that's what I said. Also, I know what you want to say next. His powers are just like the ones you gave me.
You know what?
His
We're
powers
saying it.
are just like the ones you gave me.
We're saying it.
Are you in
We're not
league
being
with him,
blunt
Marvel?
about it.
Where did these powers come from?
If I am in league with him, no one has informed me. All I have is you, my dear partner in destiny.
Can we just, like, take a look at his model? There's something about it. I don't know. Just the pure white, yet you can still tell, like, all the details.
Still,
I like Arvel's
saw what
model.
you saw. Clearly, we don't have a monopoly on shapeshifting.
And now that everyone knows about Tomas, some of them must have connected the dots back to me. At least they've had the grace to keep it to themselves.
It's because they trust you. Hold on,
Don't know about that. Don't know about they trust me. So how are we talking? Are we just like standing? Yes. We are literally just standing, staring blankly, having a conversation in our head. Oh boy. Where are the crazy people?
Something wrong?
I must return to the Imperial capital soon for an important matter. Will you join me? Most of the other Black Eagles are coming.
What's this about?
I fear I must keep that to myself until we're closer to the capital. But I promise you this. There will be battle, and you will have a chance to shine.
Oh, okay. Well, when you put it that way,
Are you sure?
I can't deny.
These powers I have
are like the ones Tomas used.
Oh, she said it. She said it. She knows.
That is a bit disquieting. Still, you've given me no reason to mistrust you.
It's the money. They pay us, we won't turn on them.
You wrested yourself free of us from the start, but instead you chose to stay here at the monastery. You fought by our side and helped us save Monica. I think I can give you the benefit of the doubt. But here's my true proposal. If you accompany us, there's a good chance you'll learn where your powers come from.
Ooh, now that is intriguing.
In that case, I accept.
Okay. Yo, okay, that's cool. So hold on, let's look at some of this info we have here before we end off this episode. So I mean, we have obviously our character, Flugel class, affiliation, mercenaries. Age is a mystery, which is interesting. No crests, Interest getting stronger in mercenary work. Details unknown. Born in the mountain hamlet of why am I forgetting the name of that? Leicester. There it is. Becomes a mercenary and begins living as a wanderer, and then in the year of 1180 enrolls at the Officer Academy. And our close allies are Edelgard, Petra, and Casper. Interesting. All right. Like seeing her friend smile, her adoptive mother, and not going hungry. You know what? We got a little bit of time. Let's continue on. Monica's playable! Let's go! Oh, and she has a crest. Okay. Crest of Makul. Makul? Symbol of magic and mastery of the wind. So wind magic is going to be her forte. Nice! And we temporarily parted ways with Ferdinand. Temporarily parted ways with Bernadetta. Dang, I really wanted to use her. Casper as well. Linhart. Alright. You know what? Just so we can get into the battle next episode, we're going to continue. We're not going to end it here just yet. See, I really want to use the bow character. And I'm sad we haven't been able to use her yet. But Petra will be interesting to use. I'm going to have to get used to using magic. When I used Hubert, there's just something about it. I'm going to have to get used to the magic that's being used. But let's go talk around. Let's see what Edelgard has to say. We'll be entering Endbar tomorrow, so rest up and restore your strength. Yes, we're expecting to be quite the battle, but I look forward to seeing what you can do. Who are you expecting to fight? Oh, no one of particular importance or concern. Still, I'd prefer to wait a little while before disclosing that information. We'll just make sure our gear's ready. Oh, thank you. Perhaps now might be a good time to speak with the others. Seeing you calm and collected should help soothe the nerves of any who are anxious in the shadow of battle. Okay. See, who's over here? Monica all by her lonesome. How you doing? Perfect timing. I wanted to thank you again. I meant to earlier, of course, but things have been quite hectic recently. And while Lady Edelgard unfortunately did not tell me every single detail, it sounds like you played a big part in my rescue. So thank you for that. I mean it. We're going to respond with humility. We're not going to blow it off. Really, I just like the Monica character. Oh, I didn't do that much. Edelgard was the one who really saved you. Still, I'm glad you're safe, so if I play some small part in that, then all the better. Well then, I'm expecting even greater things from you once we reach Endbar. Alright, Hubert, what do you have to say?
If I may.
Given your past, I think hardly it necessary for me to ask you after your readiness for battle. We will be counting on you in Endbar. Be the sword of Lady Edelgard's hand and smite her foes. Also, you should know that victory in tomorrow's battle will hold great significance for yourself as well. We gotta question it. We gotta question it. We gotta try and get some information out of them. Do we bail? Do we stay? Care to say that again in a way that makes some kind of sense? I thought I was perfectly clear. Lady Edelgard has spoken on the matter of your power, yes? That said, perhaps your not understanding the situation means you can all rest a little we can all rest a little easier. Alright, who's up next? Petra and Dorothea. I can't put my finger on it, but I have a very strange feeling about all this. Maybe it's because I wasn't expecting to return to the capital this year. Isn't the group we're going with a little unusual too? Ferdy, Casper, Lynn, and Byrne won't be joining us. I'm surprised that most of the children of the 6 great noble families stayed back at Garreg Mach. Oh, but of course Hubie had to tag along. Honestly, I like her nicknames. Anyway, it really makes you wonder who exactly will be fighting. I do not wish to be speaking out of turn, but Lady Edelgard is surely having many enemies.
My word is a bond.
When we arrive in Endbar, I will be fighting to my utmost. I fight not just for the Empire, but for Bridget as well. They have fates that are intertwining. We're gonna fight just as hard, Petra. Petra and I, we're cut from the same cloth, alright? We're both cut from the same cloth. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but they hired me to do a job, and that's what I'm gonna do. Especially if everyone is relying on me. You being here is reassuring. Now let us be fighting together and bringing about victory. Alright, last but not least is Yuritsa. I have the contract. That's the only reason I'm here. Ask if he's working for someone outside the church. He liked that one. So, is this contract separate from your work at the academy? Yes. Alright, let's get some rest before the fighting kicks off. That is where we are going to end it. Next episode, we're going to get into some more fighting. I'm just trying to savor this game again. Once this game does fully come out, I will be streaming it and then uploading, you know, I'll be uploading episodes based off of the stream. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're looking forward to this game as much as I am, you know, leave a comment down below as well. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!